clip firm.
What's going on? Welcome back to a new video. My name is James and I'm a C3 racer here in Ireland, and this whole series has been about me going from basically zero, never having raced ever before, to trying to become a competitive racer here in Ireland. So the whole aim when I started this whole series back in March was to try to get a podium in C3, and if you've been following the series you'll know that we kind of got there pretty fast. But if you're new here, I've spent the last probably 6 weeks racing, and in that time I've got 2 first place finishes, I've got podium, I've got a top 5 finish, I got a top 6 in the GC. So here at C3 level, which is like Cash 3, like entry level amateur here in Ireland, I've been doing pretty well, and I suppose my work has kind of been paying off. So in this video we got another race weekend and I'm heading up the country again. Like, being down here in Cork, it's so difficult trying to find races. Like, you have to travel so far up the country. So there's a national graded event happening up in County Down tomorrow, so I'm actually where I'm heading up today, and then that's the Noel Teggart Memorial, so that's meant to be a big enough race up the north. Usually I always just travel on my own. I always go up to races on my own, just kind of take part on my own. I might know people in the races, but I've never really went up and spent a weekend with someone and did the whole preparation with someone. Whereas this weekend I'm actually travelling up with Eoin Clifford, and he's racing the C1 race up there. Right now, I suppose with where I'm at racing wise, I actually have enough points now to move up to C2. So I only checked it last night. I think I got like 51 points or something now on the Cycling Ireland rankings, which allows me to move up, because I need 45 to move up to C2. But I didn't have those points before I booked this race. I still only had 38 points, so I actually wasn't eligible to book a C2 race, because this weekend there is a separate C2 race. See, because in Ireland it's kind of challenging, because that's been a big hesitation about wanting to go up to C2, because usually the C2s are always racing with the C1s. Like, let's say there might be a handicap, C2s might go off 3 or 4 minutes ahead and the C1's got to catch up. So they don't really have their own race a lot of the time. So that's kind of a little bit disheartening, kind of like, oh, they don't really want to move up, because if I'm going to be racing against like Eoin Clifford and Feely and all these C1s, it's like they're a different level, Like, I'm trying to break into the C2, which is already going to be difficult in itself. So that's that was an option this weekend, but I didn't have the points. But I think for the next couple of races now, I will have the points to be able to race C2. So it's a decision: do I want to race the next 1 or 2 races in C3 and then move up? Because at the end of this month, at the end of June, I have to move up to C2, because they do automatic rankings and gradings, and whoever has a certain amount of points, they automatically move them up. So I'll be automatically moved up for July onwards for the rest of the season. And I suppose after that, then it's a case of trying to get 45 points in C2 that that'll allow me to have the option to go up to C1, you know, and that's going to be a total different beast. Right now I'm focusing on what I'm doing right now. I'm going to enjoy my racing at the moment before we worry about the suffering that's going to happen in C2. But this weekend is another opportunity to go out, have some fun and see what we can do, you know. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a bit of crack, hang out with Eoin as well, seeing how he does things. And yeah, let's enjoy the weekend. Saturday morning, sun is out. If it's like this tomorrow, like sun is out, is perfect. It's not too warm, because for me, when it's really hot, I find it difficult to operate in the heat. So this is kind of everything I need in 2 bags. I try to be as condensed as possible. Like if I was traveling on my own in the Jeep, then I'd probably have like 2 or 3 bags, but I've had to put like double stuff into this, whereas one would be kind of this would be all my racing gear, this would be kind of be food, and then I'd have like an extra bag for kind of like, you know, tech stuff, camera, because I do try and do some work on these race weekends as well. So I'd have like a bag for like the camera stuff here, and just kind of extra stuff that I would need along the way probably. But yeah, I try to be as condensed as possible, seeing as I'm traveling with Eoin. I don't want to take up much of his space, because I will have the bike. I have a little bit of a blanket kind of thing here just in case we need that. I'm not sure if he has anything for that or not. I'm not sure how he's traveling with the bikes. But yeah, I got some Cocoa Pops for later on as well. Whoop. Got some Cocoa Pops for later on as well. So yeah, that's the plan. And before, like I always check things like 2 or 3 times, and I always do like a mental checklist. So like what I'll do is I'll start from the very bottom. So I would go from like, right, shoes, racing shoes, yes. Socks, yes. Bib shorts, yes. Then I move up, it's like jersey, yes. Heart rate monitor, yes. Base layer for inside the jersey in case I need it, depending on the weather, yes. Helmet, yes. Glasses, yes. And then once I have all those things, I'm like, right, everything else is kind of can be sorted along the way. If I'm missing food or missing, you know, gear or whatever, and then like that's kind of like, right, that's done. Then I kind of move on to the bike. It's like, right, bike's there. Spare tube, yes. Spare tire, yes. Bike computer, yes. Pump, yes. And then that's kind of like the bike checklist. Yeah, so there's a lot of things you need to bring on these race weekends. Oh geez, I nearly forgot this. Even something like lubricant, just in case I want to put a little bit of that on there as well. Like it's even look at this. Even things for like cleaning the glasses, like these tiny little details that like don't really matter. But when you got clean glasses versus dirty glasses, it makes a massive difference. So it's still the day before the race, so today is all about carb loading and getting as much food in as we can today. So again, what I've done for the last couple of races, carb loading wise, 850 grams of carb is going to be my aim. Yeah, so far I've got a solid meal, and I've had a big bowl of oats. I've had some bread, jam and banana, and yeah, we have a nice chunk of food already in at 8:45 in the morning. So this is the bike that we'll be using for the weekend, that I use every weekend, that I use every day, to be honest, when I'm training. Gave it a nice shine up last night, so it's looking very well. To be honest, there's no better feeling than a super clean, sparkling bike. When the chain is clean, cassette is clean, and everything's just gleaming. Then it's sunny on top of it, which just makes it gleam even more. That's the best thing in the world. Like, so this is my Giant Propel Advanced Pro Zero. I've had this now, I've probably raced on this for the last, well, I've only raced on this. I've had it for the last 2 months maybe, and to be honest, it's an absolute weapon. So I've got Contact SLR Aero handlebars on here. These are very nice actually. I like these handlebars. I've got the SLR 1 wheels on here. I'm running 30mm tubeless tires on this, and I usually run around 65-ish PSI in both tires. They're the Continental GP 5000 tires on here. I have Ultegra Di2 on here. It's 5236. I think it's 1134 in the back, so it's 12 speed. We got the power meter in the cranks, and other than that, she's a pretty nice bus. That's what we're racing on. I've got 2 race wins on this already, which is crazy to even think that. Like when I got this bike, Eoin had already got a couple of wins on it, and I even jokingly said, "Is like, right, no pressure on me now to try and get some race wins on it," and they kind of came about pretty quick, you know. And I suppose that's what happens when you just throw yourself in. And like, I had no idea how good or bad I was at cycling. Well, to be honest, I thought I was pretty bad at cycling when it came to the racing scene. But then once you just throw yourself in there, you realize, okay, you're actually not as bad as you might think. This is the gaff. Just plonked ourselves in the middle of someone's farm. They got a nice old bus. Kitchen. complimentary croissant. It's nice, bro. You can live here. Jack's. Ideal by some spot by. This is a Cliff's Gap. This one's bigger if you want to take this one out.
No, that's not good.
I think there's more space. Sitting room. Sweet spot, lad. Or a little couch, lad. This is my bedroom. Spot on. Grand view out the window there. That's proper Irish scenery right there now. So that was a sweet journey up. It's 2:45 now, so yeah, we'll probably head out, get our opener session done. I have an hour and a half, Owen has 2 hours. I'd say I'll probably just end up doing the 2 hours with him if it's nice and steady. I mean, his zone 1 versus my zone 1 is going to be totally different. But we'll see how we get on. We're going to do the course and just get used to it. Because Owen was saying as well that the roads around here can be rough enough. So yeah, we've just got to get used to the surface and see if there's any bad spots or anything that we got to be careful of for the race. I was always wearing white aero socks with black shoes. But this man is he's going to sort that problem. I've been doing everything wrong and illegal in the cycling space. First it was Liam Crowley gave out to me about my Garmin placement on my bike. I got that fixed after. Well, no, I didn't get it fixed on that bike, did I? Did I fix it on that bike? Yeah. Oh yeah, I changed it over on that one, yeah. Yes, some black aero socks. Velo Revolution. I'll throw these on, so it'll be another piece of the puzzle sorted as a cyclist. But to be fair, during my first 2 races, I was just wearing the penny socks. And the amount of grief I got for that was madness.
Yeah. O sol nasceu, novo dia chegando. Estamos cantando. Vamos com fé, correndo atrás, sem medo, sempre sonhando. Segue pra frente, bora com garra, assim vamos buscando. Cada momento de pé é uma chance de seguir lutando. Eu não posso parar, meu plano é chegar. No meu destino eu acredito que eu vou conquistar. Não posso duvidar, se é hora, vamos fazer história. Nessa vida somos vencedores. Ok. Somos vencedores. Ok. Somos vencedores. Somos vencedores.
Okay, so the spin is done, so that means more food, man. So we got nice drum milk here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a bunch of Cocoa Pops right now. So buy like 100 grams of these. That'll bring me up to, I think my total so far is not too bad actually. I'm not doing too bad now for it's 5:30 in the evening, so still got plenty of time. 4,300 calories and we have 717 grams of carbohydrates. And I had 1 gel and a bottle of carb mix on the spin as well. How was that spin for you?
Too bad. Standard opener spin.
That's it, like.
Nothing unusual.
There's nothing really exciting about it, really. Like it's just
No, it's just you get it done.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw back some Cocoa Pops. So you gotta try and throw back more of that pasta. Yeah.
I'd say so, yeah.
How would you explain that sort of anyway? Because what about you? I've heard you use terms like lumpy.
Yeah, that's lumpy.
So that's a lumpy one, yeah.
I'd say that's kind of well.
The start would be the
Rolling, I'd say more so than
all rolling. Okay.
yeah.
Because like I thought the last that first wave. I don't know, was that 5k of rolling hills there?
Yeah.
That was kind of scary. Well, I suppose I was trying to stick on your wheel too. I was like, fuck, this is harder than I would want. Like.
Yeah, sure. It is.
Did you have like a certain spoon at home as well that you like?
Yeah.
Like those forks, and we have like 4 or 5 different forks, but like they're the only ones I'll use.
That's the way. Yeah. My girlfriend's the same. Like,
I don't know why. Like.
Yeah. Force them out, I guess.
Same with the spoons as well. Like there's only a certain type of spoon I'll use.
Yeah.
Ooh, they have a microwave. But I was thinking, I saw it in the fridge. I was like, he's definitely going to use the microwave now.
Yeah. I'll just raw it. I'll get cold.
So it wasn't a bad spin. 52 kilometers. Most of it was spent on Owen's wheel because I was able to stay within my zone when I was on his wheel. If I wasn't, I would have been going at a much slower pace. Yeah, I was meant to do I think 1 6-minute effort. So I was kind of doing them when I was on his wheel at one stage. I think I was able to. So I was trying to aim for like maybe 340 watts. So I was able to do that when he was doing his efforts, which was ideal. People are sick of seeing what I'm eating now. Like, so we got to see what you got, lad. Some waffles. This is the C1 sauce, lad. Cornflakes, lad. But you don't even cook them. Like, you just eat them straight out of the packet. Like, no toast in them. Like, no syrup or anything on them. Like. That was me now, but I'd fucking toast them, throw a bit of jam on them, probably make them right sexy, like. But sometimes you just gotta just raw dog it, as you say, like. So this will probably be the last mainish meal of the day. Some rice again, same as last time, but this time I'm eating it warm out of the microwave, and some tomato ketchup. That's most of my food is basic, like just a protein source, carb source. I'll usually have some like veg or something in there, and just put some sauce on top, like. Basic stuff. Like, it's simple stuff seems to work well, like, so that's just it's easy to make, easy to eat, and it's good for you, effective, like. And that brings me up to, I'm not sure where we are food wise, but I'm definitely at the threshold now. Once I finish this, I've reached what I need to eat, really. Yeah, 5,000 calories, 830 grams of carbohydrates, so I'll have something small, so a small snack, maybe a kind of a bagel or something, or maybe even some more Cocoa Pops or something there. And that should be us pretty much done for the day. Yeah, because I don't want to eat too late. Try and because I'm going to try and be in bed like 9 or 10, have a solid sleep. I'm drinking on this as well, beetroot juice. I found this last week. I was drinking this last week during last week's race, and I found it very effective, really. I mean, it wasn't night and day like difference, but I used it, felt great. Like, so again, there's kind of that placebo of like, if I don't use it I mightn't feel great, so I'm just going to use it again. And beetroot juice is meant to be great for blood flow and all that, so that's kind of where we're at right now. So here's the next morning now. It's a lot of stuff has happened already. It's like 20 to 10 at the moment. I had breakfast already, had my normal usual breakfast. I don't try and change things on a race day. Normal oats, some protein, so I had some like sultanas and stuff in there, which I found is actually a very high carb source, to be honest. Some raisins or sultanas, and very easy to eat. So I mixed a bunch of those in with my oats this morning, and I'm mixing my bottles now. So the aim for today, like I've only a 62k race, which is going to be short enough compared to other races I've done. Like, ideally I'd like this to be 80 plus k, just like longer races. And I suppose when you're traveling so far up the country, you'd like to come up and get a good race under your belt. So today I don't need a lot of fueling. I'm going to have, there's about 45 grams inside in this bottle. So I think I'm going to have 2 of these bottles, and then I'm going to have 3 gels on the spin as well. Yeah, so that's about 90 to 100 grams of carbs inside in these 2 bottles anyway. Putting my timing chip on now. I ran out of blue tape, so I'll throw some black tape on here. So you can use cable ties, but chance I just put some tape on, should be fine. Should do the job. Some lads I see, they have like a piece of a tube, and they just kind of wrap it around the fork, and then they just kind of they just sit it in. I haven't done that yet, but I need to start doing that. People always tell me, oh yeah, you should do that, and then I just never do it. So tape will do for now. I thought I was old-fashioned doing it with tape, because most lads are using tube.
No,
a tube or something.
Yeah, fuck that.
But since it's
more hassle, to be honest with
you.
you.
If Eoin Clifford uses tape, then
I don't know,
more than good enough.
If Eoin Clifford's doing something, you probably shouldn't follow what he's doing. He's probably fucking wrong.
Well, I mean, you haven't put me wrong since I started, like, so.
How are you?
Line out for this transponders are returned to the silos. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So I think that race was one of the toughest races I've done, I think, ever really at this level I did, in terms of just how difficult it was at times. And this was the first time in a race that I felt like, ooh, I was struggling to kind of keep up. Like always when there's any attacks, any surges, any pulls, like I never really have that sense of like, oh fuck, I'm falling off, like I don't have enough to keep up. Like this was the first time there was like, there was one surge maybe on the second lap or something, maybe I don't know, it was on the first or second lap, that I felt like, oh fuck, this is tough. It was fairly aggressive from the start, very aggressive from the start. So we had 62k in total, 2 laps of a 31 kilometer circuit, and yeah, fairly aggressive with a lot of people trying to attack, a lot of fellas trying to get away at the front. And I did a lot of work to try and close lads down if any lads try to break away. A lot of attacks, a lot of people pushing hard on those hills, and that's where it kind of got a little bit difficult for me. And even coming into this race, so I had a solid week of training, but on Thursday as well, I did a hike, like a 10 kilometer hike with Mikey. Like I was helping Mikey document for the challenge he's doing in a couple of weeks' time. So I kind of had to do that hike. Ideally, I didn't want to do the hike because I knew it might affect my training, because I hadn't hiked in 12 months. Like, so when you do something new for the first time in a while, it's going to affect your body in some way. Like, you know, and that was a 10k hike that definitely messed my legs up. Like that was on Thursday. Friday I was sore. I was like, shit, I'm racing Sunday, this is going to be tough. Saturday I was still a little bit sore. And then I suppose I woke up this morning and it wasn't that it was gone away, but I still felt it in the legs. But I was like, look, we fucking power on regardless. Like, you don't have to always be in perfect situations and circumstances to race. Like, you just got to get used to being a little bit sore at times. So yeah, I suppose even with that, I noticed in the race I didn't have the same legs as I usually do, if that makes sense. Like, I was still felt fairly strong, still felt fairly good. On the second lap, so on about 25k to go, there was a Banbridge lad went up the road on his own. And usually when someone goes up the road on their own, it's kind of like, okay, we'll kind of leave them on their own. As long as they don't get too far away, we should be okay, and we'll bring them back before the end. But he was strong, very strong rider. And then yeah, at times I tried to get close. I tried to bring him back at times, because he made a couple of moves all day. Really, there was a lot of lads making moves, but he made a couple of moves in fairness to him. So I suppose I should have kept a better eye on him, knowing he was that strong. I suppose I had at this stage, and I was starting to feel it a bit. You know what I mean? My legs weren't 100%, and I was like, right, I'll kind of take a bit of a breather here. So I kind of fell back in the pack a little bit. I fell about 10, 15 lads back. And when you're in that position, you're kind of stuck. Really, like you can't kind of get out easily. So that's why I like to just stay up near the front, because if anything does happen, you can kind of just go. So then when I was kind of in the middle of the pack, there's one lad, Bridge, was just jumped across, or made a move to kind of jump across and meet up with the Banbridge lad, and I missed that move. I was in the pack. I was like, fuck, okay, there's 2 lads up the road now, this is not ideal, because if there's 2 lads up the road, there's a better chance of them staying away than if there's just one, you know. It's going to be harder to bring them back, and it turns out they were 2 very strong lads who went up the road. I probably didn't have the legs to bridge across. I definitely didn't have the legs to bridge across on my own. So it was a matter of just trying to hope that others would try and help out towards the end. I mean, we were able to bring them back close, like we could see them at times, but they always just had that gap, and we couldn't really close it down. Like, and then kind of as we came close at the end, a few lads were willing to kind of try and help out, so it did get the pace went up a bit. But like, we needed a constant pace going, but we didn't have the constant pace. Like, it would be stop start a lot, and we needed to just be going always, you know. And it's hard for me to keep it going the whole time. Like, I'm not a fucking exceptional rider. Like, and like pull the whole pack around. Like, you know, there's only so much I have as well. Like, and it would have been ideal if we had, you know, even 3 or 4 or 5 lads just working together. We would have brought them back very fast. But 3 or 4k to go, that's when the pace started to ramp up a bit. We were getting a little bit closer to them. Thought we would be able to bring them back, but then they just stayed away. They were just able to stay away And then it came to say that we're in the last 3k. I was like, okay, is this going to be a sprint for third place? So, but I was still kind of like, let's try and keep the foot down here and let's try and keep pushing. But like, I didn't know how much I had left in legs or how much I didn't. So like, I could have put more effort in the front towards the end to try and maybe get closer to the lads, and we could have got them. But then it's like, I didn't know how much I'd burn by the end. Like, and it's such a hard one to judge whether like you can push more and will you have enough legs for a sprint at the end. So it's a hard one, like, you know what I mean. And I suppose that's the way Evan was in the race. Was like, I don't want to burn all my matches because I'll have nothing towards the end, which makes sense. Like, so, but yeah, got to the end. It was actually this is kind of like the first time now I was in like a proper tussle for a bunch sprint. Because previous bunch sprints that I've done, I've always led out the bunch sprints before. Like I've been in 2 bunch sprints, and I've always led them out. I've always ended up being in the front. The first time I did it, I was totally oblivious. I didn't know what to do. I was just at the front. But the second time I did it, the guy in front of me dropped his chain. So I've always been in the front for those bunch sprints. I've been in 3 bunch sprints. Yeah, because the last one in Mead, that was a bunch sprint for 2nd place. But again, I was kind of at the front really again, so I was almost leading out the bunch sprint 3 times I've done it, like, so I need to learn better. So today was the first time I've actually I was kind of tussling around for positions, and I was able to kind of stay on wheels. And I think it was maybe the last 300 meters or so ish around that. That's kind of when I went. And then there was a very clever Glendale lad stayed on my wheel. I was flat out. He comes up beside me, and I'm like, fuck it, I can get him. I can get him here. I can get him. But he just had a little bit extra than what I had at the end, and I'd say there was half a wheel in it between 3rd and my position 4th place. And the mad part is as well, like the 2 lads up the road, like they only finished like 400 or 500 meters up the road from us. I suppose once they knew they were that close, they slowed down a bit and we got closer. But you know, fair play to the lads. They played it right, they played it well. That Banbridge lad was very strong as well. To be fair to him, he was trying to make moves all day long, which is testament to his strength he had. And to be able to stay away, like he was like some of the breaks he made on his own as well. Like he was away for a while. Like he actually got away a couple of times, and we brought him back a few times. Like, so, like he did make a couple of efforts, and still at the end had great legs to be able to stay away. Fairness to him. So I mean, 4th place in a race like that, in a national graded race with like 40 odd riders or something is pretty good. You know, I need to be happy with that. But I mean, this that part of me too is like, fuck, you know, could have been more, like it could have been better. Like, yeah, not sure if the next race will be a C1 race or not, because I'm on 51 points now, so that allows me to race at C2 if I want. In this race I think I get like another 15 or 18 points or so for 4th place, so that's not too bad. So I do have the option to go up to C2. But even today at times I was like, fuck this, the race was so tough. I was like, if I was racing C2 today, it would be even tougher than this, like, you know. So I mean, yeah, I suppose I wasn't feeling 100%, but you're not always going to feel 100% every time either, like, so I need to understand that and get used to that, like. But yeah, overall I was happy enough, you know. Again, did a lot of work at the front, put in a good shift. Yeah, there's a few things that didn't go 100%, but that's racing, like, you know what I mean. The days I do win things go 100% for me, but they don't go 100% for other people, like, so you're always going to be what do they say? Some days you're the hammer, some days you're the nail. Is that the quote, you know? And today I think I was the nail. Yeah, I wasn't a hammer, but still 4th place is very good. That's a solid weekend overall, pretty good. We're moving in the right direction, you know. Every race that I do is helping me get better and improve and keep learning, you know, and helping build the legs, develop the racecraft. And yeah, I think the next race now is hopefully next weekend up in Mead. Sean Nolan Memorial, I think it is, up in Mead. I think that's another national graded event, so hopefully there'll be a nice turnout for that as well. Appreciate you watching, appreciate you supporting, and I'll see you in the next one.